Welcome to this episode of the Verilog Bench. Today we're going to be looking at ATB issue C from the software and tooling side. Firmware often configures the trace system rather than driving the transport directly, but the protocol still decides whether the captured result is complete and trustworthy. From software, the trace picture is a path, sources, optional funnels, and a place where the trace ends up. The transport has to preserve that path while tools start, stop, and read the capture. The first thing software engineers need to remember is that trace generation and trace arrival are not the same event. The transport still works one accepted beat at a time. At a workflow level, capture looks simple. Configure, run, stop, and inspect. But the stop step only becomes trustworthy once the transport has drained the remaining trace. This is the transport detail that most obviously affects tools. A stop request is not enough on its own. The remaining trace still has to leave the path before the capture can be treated as complete. Software also benefits from a realistic view of buffering. A trace path can absorb some bursts, but still has real throughput limits and real drain time. Wake-up signaling is another point where the protocol becomes visible to system software. The trace path and the power state cannot be treated as independent. The software takeaway is that ATB sits underneath the trace workflow as a transport contract. If you want trustworthy trace, you still need the handshake, drain, and power interactions to make sense. If this ATB software view was useful, like and subscribe to be notified of future videos. This closes the first ATB set before the series moves into the AXI document history. Before that, here is the glossary. ATB means Advanced Trace Bus. AT valid marks valid trace from the source side. AT ready marks downstream readiness. And a trace sink is the block that consumes, forwards, or stores the trace. AT data is the payload on the transport path. AT wake-up indicates useful work on that path. A funnel merges trace from several sources, and flush means draining the remaining trace toward the sink.